Today I'm here with Mark Highland of Organic Mechanics, and he is a soil expert. I'm so psyched for you to be here. Thank you so much. Today we're going to learn about soil, and he spent the better part of a decade researching and developing a unique potting soil. He's going to introduce us to it.
Yeah. Well, the secret to this good soil is its compost worm casting ratio, as well as it's got coconut fiber in there. It's got pine bark in there for a little chunkiness to get that drainage going. The coconut fiber and the compost really help to retain moisture. The worm castings and the compost themselves add a very unique biology to the mix. That biology helps set up a nutrient cycling effect. It helps protect plants, keep their roots healthier, keep them growing stronger. Overall, you're just going to have bigger, healthier plants because of that diversity of microorganisms and the perfect ratios in this potting soil. Compost and the worm casting biology, once they get in there and set up shop, they start producing these polysaccharides. It's a sticky coating, binding to the different particles, pulling them together and creating these macropores that can hold water. So it'll hold water through the macropores as well as the tiny little micropores that are created as more and more of that biology kind of sets up.
All right, so let's check out this soil. All right, I can see these are the little coconut fibers in there.
You got it, yep.
And then the white things are the perlite?
That's the perlite.
Okay. And then I think I can see those are the little sort of pine bark?
Pine bark nuggets, yeah.
Okay.
Any kind of little woody specks that you would see, those are the pine bark, yep.
And then just the dark stuff, that's basically your compost and your worm castings.
And your coconut fiber, tiny, tiny particles, as well as the fines from the pine bark. But there's so much worm castings in our mix, you can almost pick them out. They're like the perfectly circular little black dots that would be in here, and then the rest of it would be compost. But anytime you can see a perfect little, and they're very hard to see, but they look like little tiny black beach balls,
Very
little
cool.
worm castings.
All right, see, there's some of the mixture here. All right, one of the things that I've always wanted to do is make compost tea. And compost tea isn't the type of tea that you would drink.
No.
We're going to make some compost tea, and that's going to feed our plants. So we're going to use your soil to make that compost tea. And just tell me a little bit about what's so great about compost tea.
Well, we're going to use our soil. You definitely, if you have really high quality compost or worm castings, you can use those items. If you can't find it, you could use, the Organic Mechanics soil, simply because we know those items are in here and it's really high quality compost that's made according to NOP guidelines. When you have compost that's that high quality, what you're doing, you're going to brew up all the little beneficial microorganisms that are in the compost. You're going to multiply those numbers 100-fold, 1,000-fold by making this compost tea. It literally will be like a fertilizer factory in that compost tea bin. So.
I'm so excited to get started. We've got some burlap here, and we're just going to dump a bunch of soil into the middle.
There we go.
All right, and then we're gonna just tie this up, right?
Mm-hmm. Just make a little pouch. You can use any kind of vessel that you have. We had some scrap burlap to use up, so that works. But
I will hold this if you want to tie that around.
Sure. Just tie that up, and this is just to essentially keep the compost from plugging up your delivery system later on. Let's say you wanted to put this through drip irrigation, something like that. You definitely would want to keep all the compost in a pouch, and you can use any type of pouch really, as long as it's not bleached or dyed. So this is a nice natural burlap, but it also keeps it out of the pump.
All right, so we've got our compost in our pouch here, and let's get started making some compost tea.
Yeah.
All right, so we can plop this in, right?
That's it. We've got our compost in there. Just soak that in, so that'll bubble away, and if a little bit of compost gets out, it's not a big deal. You don't have to worry about it. But yeah, we got our compost in.
Cool.
We got our aquarium pump right here with air stone, and we got 4 gallons of water in the bucket. Now we're just going to add that air stone in, and that's pretty much it.
Oh, hey, Patti.
You wanted to make some compost tea too,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Back tea. Go, Stinky Beast. It's been 24 hours since I've been brewing my compost tea, and now it's time to feed all of my container plants. I've brought a bunch of plants inside because it's almost winter, and a bunch of my herbs can totally survive and last indoors and continue to give me those amazing flavors in my cuisine. Now, my compost tea has been brewing, oh, Kitty, no. My compost tea has been brewing for 24 hours. You want to make sure that you don't let it brew for more than that. And once that 24-hour period has been reached, that you use all of the tea that you've made right away. You don't want to store it for use later. But I'm going to continue watering these plants with the compost tea. I hope that you're going to try your own compost tea at home. I'm Patti Moreno, the Garden Girl. Thanks for watching.